What is going on, guys? Welcome back to LetsNot, and welcome back to Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. Alright, guys, so this will officially kick off episode 2 of our Now versus Then, or Then versus Now, whatever. Then versus Now series, where we compare some older video games to some newer video games on kind of how they tackle similar things, and just really talk about our thoughts and kind of how those video games did in their decisions. So without further ado, today we're going to talk about Pokemon Diamond and Pearl again versus Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. Specifically today, though, we're going to talk about the Grand Underground. So without any further ado, let's jump into it. Alrighty, guys. So here we are in both games. Again, we're right outside the contest hall because we were there anyway. And honestly, the beauty of the Grand Underground is you can enter it from anywhere. So the Grand Underground has changed pretty considerably from Pokemon Pearl to Pokemon Shining Pearl, as well as from Diamond to Brilliant Diamond. And I want to talk about what those changes are and overall if I thought they were good changes or bad changes. So let's jump into it and let's head underground in both of our games here. So what we're gonna do in both cases, we're gonna go ahead and open up our game, go into our bag, and jump over to our key items and use our Explorer's Kit, because this is gonna be the thing that gets us underground. So after we go ahead and do a quick save here, we'll jump into the underground on both games and we'll be right back. Alrighty, we are officially in the Grand Underground on both of our games. And the very first thing you should notice is the overall appearance is incredibly similar between the old version of the game and the new, right? So games look very, very similar in that regard. And we can immediately see just by looking around where kind of the gems are hiding in the wall. So overall, the experience with the gems is fairly similar, but there are a couple changes. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and mine a gem on both of our screens here. I will say it's a little harder to find out exactly where they are in the wall on the later versions. And we've already run into a trap, right? So we'll talk a little bit more about traps in a bit, but that is one thing that is exclusive to the older version of the game. So we will talk about those and kind of how those play into the game. All right, so let's go ahead and dig into a wall. So just like the old version, you basically have two different types of hammers, and you try and find the gems, right? So in this case, we found one blue gem here, and we're going to try and find the other gems as well. All right, so here's the green gem. You know, one thing I did notice that kind of when doing this on both is on the old version of the game, it did seem a little bit easier to find everything without breaking the wall. But I don't honestly know if that's true or if that's just something that I happen to notice. So, all right, so in this case, we only found the 2 gems. But we're going to immediately notice something different between the gems we find on the old game and the new game. And that is that every single gem in the old game has a specific size, right? So in this case, we got a blue sphere size 2 and a green sphere size 1. So 2 very, very small gems. And in the new game, they are just either large gems or small gems. And then all of the other good stuff as well can still be found, right? So in the new games, it's all about finding statues. And in the old games, it's more about finding things like leaf stones, stuff like that. And while that stuff can still be found in the new game, in the old game, there were no statues, right? So that's going to be one thing that's already different, is that we are not finding any statues whatsoever, right? All right, so now, once we've found a few gems, what we can do is, in both games, we can basically talk to a gem trader who will give us a few different things. So in the new games, the gem trader is pretty specific in that he's really only going to give us like display stands and things along those lines. But let me go ahead and find a gem trader here on the old games as well to show you how that's a little bit different. So if I head over here, I can go talk to this gem trader here. All right, so here's a gem trader, and we can see that things are going to be a little bit different. So if I select get goods, I can see that now instead of just getting basic type of things, I actually have a whole host of decorations I can get for my secret base. So I can get something like a healing machine, a long table, a small bookshelf, a potted plant, iron beam, like all of these different things to decorate my base. But I need to have a gem of at least that size, right? So for example, if I want a small bookshelf, I need to have at least a green sphere 8, which I do not have, right? I've got a blue sphere 11, some things like that. Prism sphere 9 if I want an iron beam, which I might actually have one of those. I do. So for example, I'm going to go ahead and trade this for the iron beam here. And then now I can put that iron beam in my base. But yeah, so this changes pretty much every day with awesome stuff. And then like the really cool stuff, like a Pokemon Center healing machine, I could only get that with a Prism Sphere 98. But one of the things that has changed between the newer game and the older game is that I have a an entirely different menu, right? So if I hit X here, I can see a list of all the traps that I have. And I can basically set these on the ground to mess with my friends. I have a list of all the spheres I've collected, which again have independent sizes. I can see all of my goods for my secret base decorating, as well as all of the treasures I've collected. So leaf stones, heart scale, all of that good stuff. And then if I want, I can actually go put these in my bag. But if I don't want, I can also use the give goods to give them to this guy here to get spheres, right? So for example, if I say give goods, I can trade back my decorations. I actually can't trade back my treasures. So there's really no point actually to keeping those other than just putting them in your bag. So, but let's say I really want to eventually work up to the 98 prism stones. That's incredibly hard to just naturally find, but this game actually has a system to help you get that, right? So if I go right back into my menu in the old games, I can do something called bury spheres. And if I do that, they will actually get bigger. So if I take this red sphere 1 or this green sphere 1 here, I can actually bury this. And then later I can go pick it up for basically a bigger sphere, right? So I've actually already done that here, and I've actually buried a few a couple days ago so we can see. These were all level 1 spheres, but if I take a look here now and I go back, I can actually go dig up these spheres, and they all will get a little bit bigger, right? So it tells me it's grown by 1 since I last buried it. It grew by 6 since I last buried it. And again, the more time that passes, the bigger and bigger these stones will get. So again, just another really cool feature that only existed in this game. The next feature, and we already saw kind of a little preview for this with the smoke trap, is traps. So basically back in the day, all of these traps used to exist, and you could use these, honestly, the main thing to use these for was just messing with your friends, right? So I have one on the ground already, but I'll go ahead and place another one here. So if I go back into my bag, jump up to traps, I can put a bubble trap, right? So if I bury this right here, and then if I walk over it, basically what it'll do, it'll trigger something I have to, like a little mini game. So in this case, I have to pop all these bubbles. So again, this was just a really cool way and a fun way of messing with your friends back in the day. And these are completely gone from the new game. There are no more burying spheres. There are no more independent size spheres. And probably the worst thing about Pokemon Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, secret bases suck now. Literally the only decorations you can put your new secret bases are display stands and statues, and then the green statues, so kindly dubbed as shiny statues. And these do change the Pokemon that pop up in the Grand Underground. So I guess that kind of matters, but ultimately it's super lame. It means everybody's base is just going to be a bunch of random statues. Now, obviously, too, I want to point out that there are no wild Pokemon in the Grand Underground. 0. There are no Diglets to get you shiny statue or digging boosts, and there are no like dens that allow you to catch Pokemon. So in that regard, obviously, Pokemon Sword and Shield has a huge win because there are dens where you can catch Pokemon. Though there's not really a great way of shiny hunting those Pokemon, so they're kind of lame. Like, you get all these really cool overworld Pokemon in Pokemon Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, but then there's not really anything cool you can do with them. So, yeah, I personally, like, you get those Pokemon, but you lose all of the cool secret base stuff, all of the traps, all the fun ways to mess with your friends. So overall, I think it's a wash, honestly. Yes, you can catch Pokemon in the Grand Underground, but you lose all the cool base building stuff. So you win some and you lose some. And honestly, I think the reason they took it out is because it took so much work. Oh, also, you can click anywhere down here to ping to make it a little bit easier to find out where the things hiding in the walls are. I forgot to mention that before. Okay, so I escaped from the trap. So now what we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and build ourselves a secret base. So to do that, we just go up to any piece of wall here. We hit X, we go to traps, and we use Digger Drill. And what this is going to do is this is going to create our own secret base. So let's go ahead and enter the secret base. Now, one thing you will notice is that you will have a kind of a random, basically a random boulder assortment when you first make a secret base. The way that these boulders line up is, again, is super random, and over time you can destroy these boulders. But a lot of people, when they were first building their secret bases back in the day playing Diamond and Pearl, you wanted to find ones like that were really cool, like ones that made like a natural maze or ones that were all up against the wall. But anyway, we'll go ahead and take this base here, and then we'll go in and we'll decorate our base. So let's go ahead and hit decorate here. Please store goods in the PC. Okay, so first we're going to store our goods in the PC, and then we'll go ahead and decorate our base. And again, the cool thing here is you could make these really cool advanced looking bases. So I'm going to go ahead and decorate here, and I'm going to go ahead and put our Pokemart display shelf over here in the corner where nobody can get to it. And then I'm going to go ahead and put up our brand new iron beam here, just showing that we're doing some construction work on our base right now. And those are the only goods I've got right now, so I definitely have to collect more as time goes on. Oh, you can also check flags too. So anytime you find like a friend's secret base or something, you could steal their flag, bring it back to your base, and then you would like have this little capture the flag thing, and then you can see all of your friends and the flags you captured. A really cool feature for playing with friends that's completely gone from the new system. So no more capture the flag, guys. Sorry. All right, so now that my base is decorated, that's really about it for what I could do with my base. I could also, set up some traps. Oh, sorry. You can actually only set up traps on the outside of your base. My apologies. But that about sums up the old system. So again, the mining system is basically the same, but the base system is completely different. The sphere system is completely different. Because obviously here on the new side, we see that, the bases, again, are just statues. Now what I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to kind of switch focus and, talk about the dens, right? So that's probably the biggest major addition to the new games is this concept of these Pokemon hideaways, they're called, where you can get these overworld shinies and you can use the statues in your base to influence what type of Pokemon show up. And you can also do things like improve the shiny rate of these by going and getting your Diglett bonus, right? So overall, these are a cool system that introduced some Pokemon to the game that were obviously not in the original games. Looking at you, Houndoom, as a great example of a Pokemon that was not there in the original games, to really kind of spice up that diversity, make sure there's more fire types in the game as well. And overall, a really cool feature, a cool way to hunt some extra Pokemon. Now, overall, though, that's about the only additional thing that's any good from the new system. The mining system is a little bit worse, I'd say, because the whole system with each sphere being independently sized and having to kind of work towards the really cool cosmetics for your base, I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed a true base builder, which is what this game had. Pokemon Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl does not. Secret bases are an afterthought in Pokemon Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, and frankly, they suck. They're literally just statues, and it's super ugly, man, and I really don't know why they made that decision. Honestly, it's probably just because they were lazy. It probably would have taken way too much time to implement a full cosmetic system like this game had, a full trap system with all the mini games in there, a full sphere burying system. So again, I think it's probably just a lazy thing or just a time crunch thing to where they're like, oh, we have to change up the system, make it more basic, just like we saw with the Pokemon contests. But anyway, guys, that is it for this video, and that kind of covers the differences made in the Grand Underground from the old game to the new game. I guess the one thing I didn't talk about is the fact that there's random people in the new game, like, that do absolutely nothing. Like, there's some random AIs that's just like, hey, my name's Bill or something, and then you just keep walking. So I don't think those are in the old game either, but I didn't really talk about them because they're pointless. They literally have no purpose whatsoever. So to each their own, I guess. So again, guys, let me know what you guys think. Do you guys like the old system better, where you have the awesome base building, but there are no Pokemon hideaways? Or do you guys like the new system with really crappy bases, but you can catch wild Pokemon that don't have overworld shinies? I'm a little salty about that. Let me know in the comments, guys. In the end, I think this one's pretty close. Like, overall, it's about even. I personally just really liked base building, so I'd probably give my vote to the old games with the Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, having the extra base building versus having the wild Pokemon in the hideaways. If shiny hunting in the hideaways was done correctly, the new games would definitely win in my mind, but they weren't. They screwed up shiny hunting. So let me know what you guys think. Which one do you like better? And yeah, guys. Let me know also if you guys like this series, the then versus now, and I can make more of these videos. And if you guys do want to see more, definitely hit that subscribe button, because I do plan on making at least a few more. So if not, a lot more. All right, guys, have a good day, everybody, and I will see you guys next time.